Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be, and welcome to today's Caffeine for the Soul. So we've been talking this week about miracles, and in particular yesterday I began to talk about the relationship between goals and miracles, between that which we can bring about through our own personal efforts and intentions, and that which seems to occur beyond the scope of our own intervention. And this is not a new topic. Right? This is something that has been discussed and explored since the beginnings of philosophy. Even in the opening lines of what people call, there's a book called The Enchiridion by Epictetus, The Art of Living. And in some ways, I think of it as the first self-help book ever published. And it opens with these words. There are things which are within our power, and there are things which are beyond our power. Within our power are opinion, aim, desire, aversion, and in one word, whatever affairs are our own. Beyond our power are body, property, reputation, office, and in one word, whatever are not properly our own affairs. Now the things within our powers are by nature free, unrestricted, unhindered, but those beyond our power are weak, dependent, restricted, alien. Remember then, that if you attribute freedom to things by nature dependent, and take what belongs to others for your own, you will be hindered. You will lament. You will be disturbed. You will find fault both with gods and men. But if you take for your own only that which is your own, and view what belongs to others just as it really is, then no one will ever compel you. No one will restrict you. You will find fault with no one. You will accuse no one. You will do nothing against your will. No one will hurt you. You will not have an enemy, nor will you suffer any harm. In other words, human beings really struggle when we try to take charge of the universe, but we do really well when we take charge of our own affairs and leave the rest to the seeming randomness and/or intelligence behind life. So that's why I want to introduce an idea I call miracle setting. And we're going to, over the next few days, we're going to talk about miracle setting, and we're also going to look at, well, how do we sort between that which is within our power, what we normally call goals, and that which is seemingly beyond our power, what we call miracles. And let's start today with this question. If miracles, by definition, are those things which are beyond our control or power, why even ask for a miracle? So, I used to begin a lot of my coaching sessions by asking my client, are you open to a miracle happening today? Are you open to a miracle during this session? And what I meant was, are you open to being surprised and delighted by what can happen when you stop presuming you already know your own limitations and you stop mentally limiting the infinite creative potential of life? So the reason I encourage people to set impossible goals and are creating the impossible program and to ask for miracles is that, generally speaking, there is so much more possible in life than what we can imagine through our own limited perceptions and based on our own personal resources. So we get ourselves into trouble by either abandoning what is ours to do and saying, oh, it's up to the universe, or trying to take ownership of what isn't within our control and going, well, if it's to be, it's up to me. So I'll give you a simple example that comes up often. So one of the things that clients will often come to me saying is they want to write a book. And they say it as if I've got some kind of magical incantation or they've got some kind of internal on-off switch that I can flip before writing a book can happen. But here's the truth, and I know this. I've written over a dozen books. If you sit down and write every day for half an hour, you'll wind up with between 2,500 and 5,000 words on the page by the end of the week. Actually, depending on how fast you write, a little bit more, a little bit less. Well, within 3 months, that's 30 to 60,000 words, which is the length of an average-sized book. Now, in fairness, the book might not be very good, right? You might need to rewrite it a lot to get it to the place where anybody else wants to read it. I mean, my first book with Hay House went through 13 rewrites before we published it. But whether you write a book or not is pretty much completely up to you. Now, here's the opposite. People come to me saying they want their spouse to change in some way. They want their wife to worry less. They want their husband to be more attentive. They want their adult child to go out and get a job. They want their young child to be less upset in themselves. They want a loved one to stop drinking. They want a loved one to stop being abusive. They want a friend to stop behaving in self-damaging ways. Now, we know all of those things are possible, but they're not within our direct control to create. And when we act like they should be, we drive ourselves and our loved ones a little bit nuts. So here's your little homework piece, your little experiment for today, is just have a look for yourself through your own life and just see if you can sort, well, what's mine? What's my part in creating something? And what's kind of up to the universe, or at the very least, up to something beyond me? And then I'm going to share my thoughts on that tomorrow and we can compare notes. Have fun, learn heaps. I'll talk to you then.